Hi, Monish. Firstly, congratulations for being selected as a Golfer of the Month.
Thanks, Dinesh. Thanks for having me on your platform. And look forward to this interview.
Awesome. So, Monish, we're going to request of getting to let the members of FOMO's, almost 100,000 members that we have today, to get your opinion on different aspects. If you can just tell us more about who Monish Bindra is and your journey in the golf community over 2 decades now, I assume.
So, Dinesh, it's I can proudly say, and with a lot of fun, that another month or so, I think I complete about 41 years of playing golf. So that's yeah. So I picked up the club, or I was introduced to golf, and I was just hanging around with my dad at the golf course when I was about 7, 8 years old, and my dad being in the army. So as you know, a lot of army brats get a good chance to pick up this sport. And so it was slowly a love with the game, and just wanted to carry on playing this sport. Finally, I think in about around 93, 94, I took a serious call on pursuing this as a career. I think that definitely did pay off, because I turned pro in 97, and I was awarded the Rookie of the Year in 98. And
Wow.
so that was a good stepping stone into the world of pro golf. Didn't really have to look back after that. So I played for about 10 years on the pro tour, and won quite a few pro-am titles, and had a bunch of top 10 finishes. Then coaching became an option. So I became an official coach, registered and passed by the National Golf Academy of India way back in 2007. And I worked my way up in the ladder, and few years down the line, I became a A-level instructor with the National Golf Academy. And now I'm currently also teaching faculty with the National Golf Academy of India.
Okay, that's nice. So, Monish, now we'll come into your teaching career and also the growth of the game as we go. Now you've been an instructor, Monish, for more than 14 years. What are your comments of the current growing situation of keeping fit in mind, keeping the golf industry in mind, keeping the overall scenario that you see on ground of the new people coming into this game?
Yeah, interesting question, Dinesh, because actually what's happened through this COVID time in the last 2 years, we've seen an influx of new golfers. So there was a decline in new golfers in the last 5 years, or 4 to 5 years. We saw that, I think, just simply to do with the pressure of that we did not see new golfers in the age group of 30s, 40s, and 50s coming out. But COVID has brought a new way of life, and work from home, self-realization, where do you stand? How much time am I giving to myself? How much time am I giving to my family? So we found that there has been an influx of new golfers just in the age group of 30, 40 and 50s, and also a lot of kids wanting to take to the sport. So definitely the sport, kind of comes with the general tag of being a socially, social distancing sport, I would say. So, effectively a person feels that, okay, now, it's not a sport that I'm playing against anybody or I need to be with anybody. I can just do it by myself.
So, Monish, after the Aditya Ashok's entire, media coverage and hype that we got, have you seen a different interest coming in for the last 2-3 months, or is it pretty similar?
No, definitely there has been a interest build up amongst the juniors and youngsters, and this is exactly what we need. We need that one or two people are performing exceedingly well, and they hog the limelight on the world stage. And that's it. That's exactly showcasing what Indian golf is about. Now that also is being seen by our own people, our kids at home, adults at home. So yes, I've had parents coming up and asking me, what will it take to get into a real serious program? What will it take for my kid to maybe play an Olympic, 4 years or 8 years down the line.
Yeah.
So yes,
you have to give them. We'll come to that question. I have that kept separately for you to answer. So, yeah. Monish, some of the numbers here, which is very interesting, and I've also been in the golf industry for long enough to ask you this question. If we compare US of the 1990s, and even if you look at now, USA has about 10,000 golf courses with about 24 crore golfers in a population of 33 crores. That means 70% of the people in that country play golf. As compared to India, which is 133 population, 135,000 crore population, 135 crore population, out of which only 75 or 80,000 play. And I'm sure you'll agree with that number. I feel there's a huge gap to be covered up. What is your view as a person in this industry, as a pro, as a marketeer, as a teacher? Where should the industry be focusing on? Where are we going wrong?
Well,
what do we need to do right?
First of all, thanks for educating me on the numbers, because the numbers are actually mind-boggling both ways. The disparity in the numbers. But you see, there is a clear disparity in the number of golf courses. Let's start with that. If you don't have facilities, you can't have people, we can't be generating more golf courses. One small part of it is take it that as the number of golfers are growing, there's that much more traffic and that much more load on the existing golf courses, right? So definitely we have to figure out what would be in the bigger picture. How can more golf courses be made? Second is, we can have standalone driving ranges so that people can just go and bash balls, enjoy themselves, take lessons if they want to, hang out with their family if they want to. That is how people will be exposed to the game and start liking this sport. So everyone will grow. Everyone needs to move hand in glove. But I think the basic is about providing more golf courses and driving ranges.
So do we agree, both of us, saying that the business model that the DDA is running for golf courses like Qutub is what you and me would actually want across the country? That is, a Qutub golf course allows people to walk in, allows people to learn. The best of the facilities to a decent level is opening up. In fact, to share some numbers with you, the total number of so-called public golf courses in this country are below 10.
Yeah.
So right. So from a reality perspective, there's a huge opportunity for this country to really come into the zone where we say golf as a circuit, and we have the right population, but just that the infrastructure is controlled and managed and owned by the bureaucrats in the defense, which is meant only for kids like you and me.
Yes, so that's exactly where we need to go with this. That when you need that much of land, let it be government land. They can use it for 100 years for a golf course, and after 100 years you can use it for something else. And create a nice Qutub Golf Club in, at least to start with, the main tier 1 cities and a few tier 2 cities where there is dense population, avid population, aspiring people and things like that. And eventually people will pay for whatever they are going to use, and being under the ambit or under the government banner, it can be subsidized to that extent how they're doing it at
Monish, coming to your teaching. So I believe there are about 450 registered coaches under the NGAI. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
So that's out of which about 95 are A and B category for the whole country. Do you think that number is good enough? Do we need to increase that number, or do you think that's good enough till more driving ranges come up?
So, Dinesh, as we speak, the NGI for this year has structured for every single category upgradation, and for the ones who don't need to upgrade, refresher courses. So the NGI is working behind the scenes. We're doing a lot of back-end work, but more important is that we are taking our teachers forward. As far as the numbers are concerned, these numbers will keep growing, because as a lot of guys are seeing, it is a good option of staying in the sport, being connected with the sport, and becoming an authorized or a certified instructor allows them to be associated with driving ranges and all, and they can make decent to good living.
Yeah, good point that you're making. But without doubt, the NGI and the coaches in India have done well. That's why you see good performers of both men and women coming in the international side. Our top Asian top players are Indian. So imagine such a small country of golfers population, and we are doing better than the Thais and the Korean. That itself shows that the quality of trainers in India are far better than what a lot of people would even know of. Monish, a very important question for some of our viewers and listeners is going to be on what's for their kids going forward when it comes to costs. If they want to put their kids into golf, what is the average cost per year that we can look at? And when they try and move into a professional tour, that is when before they turn a professional, till they're the amateurs in the IGU, what is the average cost they're looking at, and some kind of a breakup that you can share with them?
To put a price perspective, you see, again, if you have a Kutub, it may be different. You have well, we are at JP Green, so that's different out here. But I think a parent would be looking at, if he's looking at golf coaching, just to start with as an introductory program, you could be looking at anywhere between, for a decent coach, between 700 to 1500 rupees for golf instructions to get into the program, and then multiply that by the number of sessions you want to do. So I always like to also promote, don't get into overcoaching. Let the talent come from within. So take it, if it's a really young kid, just give him one lesson a week and let him have fun for the rest of the week. Don't get on him for doing 2 or 3 lessons. But once the kid gets a little serious, you can get into a 2-lesson program.
Nice. Very clearly, candidly, I'm sharing this with you. Parents would be actually putting their kids at the age of 9 or at the age of 12 in the sport, which is either golf or shooting or badminton, because the universities have certain amount of seats for them internationally and even nationally. So they're looking at golf almost, that's a hypothetical figure, 70 to 80% of the parents are putting their child in a certain sport with a focus that there is an outcome for it. International education institutes, or even whether it's Indian ones. For example, Stephens has quota for golf. It has quota for shooting. So keeping that in mind, Monish, people will, and parents do try and evaluate what is the cost that will take me to get my child to a certain amateur standard. Supposing he's in the top 5 of IGU, does he make a seat in the Stephens College? From that perspective, what would be a yearly cost for a child to play an IGO tour of at least 10 to 12 events a year? Because at the end, when you start playing events, is where you start saying that I've reached a certain stage of a golf, penetration.
If you're going to write to any international college or to say, I have finished this in the IGU, I am number 1, I'm number 2, I'm number 3. So they also look at if I can get a number 1 or 2 of India, whose scoring average is this. So, he fills the seat in my team well, and then we can take it on from there. Coming to the cost factor, you see, again, like we were just talking about the breakup, take that coaching would be about, say, about ₹1 lakh rupees, so to say. Fitness would be another, fitness and nutrition would be another ₹1 lakh. Your equipment would be about ₹1 lakh, so that's about, 3 lakhs there. And then depending on where you are based and you're traveling for the IGU events, so because these kids are young, so you have to have one parent traveling with the kid, and that's fair enough. So, you book in one hotel room, but 2 people's flight tickets. You got to stay there for at least 5 to 6 days. So I think it works out at least to about, just on a decent budget, I would say about 75,000 to ₹1 lakh per, I would say, okay, give it about 6 to 8 lakhs for that. So put a figure of about 10 lakhs for the year. If your kid's playing the IGU and you make it a proper program that the IGU is going to be, you're using the IGU, or the IGU program is a stepping stone into college, because then once you can get into those colleges, now we talk about the college factor. Then if you get into those colleges, you have to be very clear what kind of college you're joining. Is it for academics or for golf? Even if you're making golf as a career, don't compromise on your academics. Have your basic academics right. Get your schooling right. Get a degree of your choice, so that there is something to fall back on. Because any sport and every sport is not void of the fact that you can sometime get injured or you don't make it up there. And so you have to have a fallback plan.
I might like to add to that, Monish. Golf as a career actually doesn't only stop as a player. In fact, you're a perfect example for it. For you, the golf as a career didn't stop as being a pro. There are so many opportunities around the sport of golf as a teacher, as a owner of golf courses. There is so much additional line of businesses that run around the game of golf, which can be leveraged even if you've been learning golf and you wanted to turn a pro, but you didn't. So that's my personal perspective. Manish, last but not the least, one of the last questions is, which is that one thing that you would like to change or you'd like to make a very strong recommendation for the present Indian golf industry, so that in the next 5 to 10 years, we do see kind of a boom. One thing that you see, ye agar hota hai, that I'm able to see a great growth in the game of golf.
So one thing I would like to change is that when I was training to being a pro, I wish we had world-class facilities and world-class coaches, because maybe I wouldn't have stopped where I stopped and got into the golfing industry. So that is one thing that I would like to go back to. But that's, I think, exactly the take that we need to have today. We need more golf courses. We need more driving ranges. We will definitely have more golfers taking to the game, more club golfers, and definitely have a lot more champion golfers of India who would be holding our banner high and making us proud right for the world. The momentum's already started. We've got to build up on that.
Awesome. Thanks, Monish. And congratulations again of being a golfer of the month on Pomals. And thank you for all your lovely inputs. And we look forward to seeing great growth for you and your company as well.
Thanks, Dinesh. Thanks for having me over once again. It's a fantastic platform that you have created over the years. So I wish you best, and wish all the golfers out there, keep working hard, bring your handicap down. All the best.